Can we talk about calories for a second? Because I thought we were done with this. I genuinely thought we collectively moved past the idea that a number on a label was the whole story about whether food is good for you. And then I look around and celebrities are walking skeletons again, and everyone's back to counting every calorie like it's 1994. And somehow this is being held up as a health goal. Thin does not mean healthy. And having some muscle on your body, having some substance to you, especially as you get older, is actually protective. Muscle keeps your metabolism running, keeps you strong, and gives you something to draw on when it needs it. A walking skeleton has none of that. Moving on. What I actually want to talk about today is the completely broken way most people are using calorie counts to make food decisions. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. 5 real food comparisons that have roughly the same calorie count and could not be more different. But first, what even is a calorie? I'm Debbie, a holistic nutritionist with 15 years experience. And what that means is that I look at the whole person, body, mind, and spirit, not just the number on the label. And the calorie conversation is one that makes me genuinely frustrated because people are making food decisions based on one single data point while ignoring everything else that actually matters about what they're putting in their body. I just want you to think about what you're eating, not count obsessively, not feel guilty about it, not turn every meal into a math problem. Just think about it. And by the end of this video, I think you'll see food labels a little differently. And I want you to try a small experiment I'll tell you about along the way. So a calorie is a unit of energy. That's it. In the most literal sense, it's the amount of energy needed to raise the temperature of 1 liter of water by 1 degree. Your body uses food as fuel the same way a car does. And calories measure how much fuel is in the tank. Here's the thing though. Imagine 2 cars. Same size tank, same amount of gas. One is running on clean, high-grade fuel. The engine runs smoothly, efficiently, everything works the way it's supposed to. And the other is running on dirty fuel, full of sludge and shit. The engine still runs, but it's working harder, it's getting gunked up, and over time, things just start going wrong. The difference between 300 calories of real whole food and 300 calories of ultra-processed shit. The tank holds the same amount. What the engine does with it is completely different. A calorie number tells you how much fuel is in the food. It tells you nothing about the quality of that fuel, what else came with it, how your body's going to process it, and whether it's going to keep you full or leave you hungry in an hour, or whether your liver is going to recognize it as food or spend its energy trying to figure out what the hell it just received. That's the whole point of the day. One number, not enough information. Let's look at some examples. A basic fast food cheeseburger, cheese, pickles, mustard, ketchup, onion, sits around 300 calories. A homemade version with grass-fed beef patty, real cheddar, a whole grain bun, and fresh toppings runs you about 400 to 450 calories. Higher number, worse choice according to calorie logic though. But the fast food version has a processed cheese product, a refined white bun full of additives and dough conditioners and condiments made with fructose glucose. And your body gets a fast blood sugar high, low quality fat, and a list of ingredients it has to work out what the fuck to do with it. The homemade version has a quality protein, real cheese with actual nutrients, some fiber in the bun, and ingredients you recognize. Your blood sugar stays steadier and you feel fuller longer, and your body knows exactly what to do with what it just received. Same food, completely different ingredients. Completely different impact. The calorie number told you the worst option was better. That is the problem. A 200-gram steak comes in at roughly 350 to 400 calories. A generous, genuinely massive bowl of black beans, we're talking seriously satisfying amounts of food, hits the same number, same calories. Now, here's what's different. That steak is gone in like 6 bites. The black beans are an enormous bowl of food that comes also loaded with fiber, iron, folate, and magnesium. And that fiber keeps you full for longer than the steak will, while also feeding your gut bacteria and keeping your digestion moving. One is a small portion of one thing. One is a huge meal that keeps working for you long after you've eaten it. Try this experiment at home. Next time you're about to order food in, look up the calories in what you're about to order. Then Google what the same number of calories looks like when you make that same meal at home using whole ingredients. Look at the portion size differences. Look at the ingredient list. Ask yourself which one your body would actually recognize as food and which one is going to keep you full until your next meal. That visual alone changes how you think about the number on the label. And while we're at it here, a bag of potato chips is not the same as a big potato just because someone put both of them in calories. A baked potato is a whole food with fiber, potassium, and actual nutritional value. The chips are a processed product full of refined fat, sugar, salt, flavorings, same energy, completely different food. Now, for those of you with a sweet tooth, an O. Henry bar, chocolate, caramel, peanuts, sits around 240 calories. A small handful of dates with a generous handful of mixed nuts, on the other hand, comes in at about 250 to 280. Slightly more calories, better choice by every measure that isn't the calorie number. The O. Henry, it spikes your blood sugar fast, triggers an insulin response, gives you a brief hit of satisfaction, and then drops you off. The ingredient list reads like a chemical science experiment, whereas the dates and nuts deliver a natural sugar that comes packaged with fiber and it hits your bloodstream slowly. Plus, healthy fats and protein that are going to keep you genuinely satisfied. And it's real food your body knows how to use. And those 100-calorie little snack packs that were everywhere for a while, same idea in reverse. The number being smaller doesn't make the food good. The number is the least interesting thing about what you're eating. Another example, a large fast food smoothie. You know, the strawberry banana kind that looks like a healthy choice, runs 300 to 400 calories maybe, depending on its size. Sounds reasonable, but when you look at the ingredient list, it's not real food. It's not real ingredients. There's no fiber in it. It's just full of sugar and shit. And it spikes your blood sugar, raises your insulin, and then in 30 minutes, maybe an hour, you're hungry again, despite the fact that you just paid like $10 for this damn thing. But if you make it at home and you use frozen mangoes or strawberries and bananas, keeping it the same, throw in a handful of spinach, which you won't even taste, trust me, and you add some hemp hearts and a spoonful of real, natural, organic Greek yogurt, or maybe some plant milk. It's the same calories, but now you have fiber from whole plants, protein from the hemp and yogurt, and actual nutrients from the spinach. Your blood sugar doesn't spike, and your body recognizes it as real food and doesn't leave you feeling sleepy within an hour. Maybe $2 in ingredients, and you know exactly what went into it because you put it in there yourself. Now, speaking of yogurts, flavored yogurts that you buy at the grocery store. Maybe they've got fruit on the bottom that you got to stir around, or it's on the top or whatever. And you look at the small little container that it comes in, and it says it's 150, maybe 120 calories. And you look at it, it's got milk and, some sugars and natural fruit flavors. But then when you really dive deep and you see there's other shitty ingredients in there, compared to if you grab that same organic plain Greek yogurt, you threw in some berries and maybe a drizzle of honey, and you throw some hemp hearts on top. Now you're getting fiber, you're getting protein, you're getting fruit, and it's things that your body actually recognizes as food. You feel fuller longer, and the calorie counts, they're pretty comparable in that way, even though the food content says they're not, even when they're in the same category. So here's the experiment I want you to do. Next time you're going to order food in, before you place the order, look up the calories and what you're getting. Then go on to Google and Google the same amount of calories, what they would look like if you made that same meal at home. Compare the portion size, compare the ingredient list, and ask yourself which version your body would recognize as fuel and which one it would have to fight to process. You don't have to cancel the order, just look. The awareness alone starts changing the decisions. So a calorie measures one thing, energy. It doesn't measure ingredient quality, fiber content, how full you'll be in 2 hours, what your blood sugar is going to do, and whether your liver is going to recognize what you just sent it. It is one data point. It has never been the whole story. Think about what you're eating, not with a spreadsheet, not with guilt, just with curiosity. Read the ingredients, look at the volume of food that you're actually able to eat when you make it at home. Ask what it's actually doing for you. That question will take you so much further than any calorie counting ever will. So subscribe for more no bullshit nutrition advice, and I will see you in the next one.